Well, you got a number of those who declared their candidacy for the presidency in 24. You got Pence, Pompeo, Nikki Haley, DeSantis, Trump, the front runner on the GOP.
You are correct.
But who do you have for the Democrats? You got dementia being dementia, and then you have silence. But wait, what's that I hear in the background? Is that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the son of the late Robert F. Kennedy, brother of the late JFK? He's declaring, oh my,
Fuck.
dementia just shit in his pants. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is What's Next. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Jazz Berganzo, What's Next? Another episode for you. You know, of course, your daily facts, common sense, and salt. Hope you're doing well today. Well, a number of people have declared their candidacy for the presidency in 24. On the GOP side, you got Pence, no one cares. Nikki Haley, meh. Pompeo, no one cares. DeSantis, of course, the savage out of Florida. And, of course, the number one man himself, Donald Trump, who, of course, is the front runner. But who do you have on the Democrat side? You got Dementia Joe, you know, riddled old man, decrepit, the crypt keeper, and then silence. You got nobody else. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I was just informed, yes, there is someone else. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yes, the son of the late Robert F. Kennedy, the brother of the late JFK. Legacy has declared his presidency. Oh my. For those who don't know, Robert F. Kennedy has been fighting against the COVID, is fighting against the forced vaccines for the better part of 3 years, and has exposed a lot of the trash that has gone behind it. And of course, blaming China along the way. He's been fighting against bureaucracy, the military-industrial complex. So you got a lot of people who don't like him. You got those on the Republican side and independents who are like, you know what? I like the cut of his jib. But what about dementia? Is he shitting in his pants? Wow. Let's take a look, shall we? This comes out of Breitbart. Poll, 32% of Biden voters back another Democrat. 32%. 1 out of every 3 out of every 10 said, yeah, dementia, that's a hard pass. Just under a third of the President Joe Dementia's 20 voters either support already declared its Democratic candidate or undecided about who they would vote for in the primary, according to the latest poll. A Suffolk University USA Today poll released Wednesday shows 67% of Democrats who voted for dementia in 20 want the president to win the Democratic nomination. That's still a lot, especially after the complete clusterfuck he's been the last 3 years. But we've got a new player. 2024 National Democratic Primary Interactive Polls. Biden, 67. RFK Jr., 14. And, of course, somebody named Williamson got 5% because, of course, they're on crack. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the son of the late U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy, holds the support of 14% among 2020 Biden voters. The number could climb subsequently in surveys as he officially launched his candidacy on Wednesday in Boston, Mass., of course, where he's from, after the poll came out. Suffolk County Political Research Center Director Dave Paleologos told USA Today that Kennedy, although a long shot at this point, starts in the double digits, and you cannot ignore him. Long shot? Yeah, I'm not really seeing that. Another 5% of Biden voters back Marianne Williamson, who in March became the first Democrat to enter the fray. She told Breitbart over the weekend that Biden, who has not formally announced a re-election bid, hasn't done enough for the working class Americans. Really? All the wonderful things he's done? And you're complaining? The remaining 13% of Biden's 20 voters are undecided. The poll was taken by landline and cell phone 600 Biden voters identified from national state polls from 20 to 22, USA Today. She did not specify the dates on which Suffolk conducted the poll, but noted that the margin of error is a plus minus 4%. The survey comes on the heels of a morning consult poll last weekend, which found Biden at 70% of support with Democrat voters, Kennedy at 10, Williamson at 4. So Kennedy jumps 4 points in 1 week. That's saying a lot, being that we're in April and still a year away. Kennedy announced his candidacy at Boston Park Plaza, where he recounted his familial ties to the city and declared his mission to end corrupt merger of state and corporate power that is threatening to impose a new kind of corporate feudalism on our country. Fact. Though his last name invokes the memory of heavyweight predecessors, like his father, his uncles, he finds himself the outs on the party establishment with members of his family. Rory Kennedy, his sister, and other family members told CNN they plan to support dementia over their family member. Wow. While some have apparently privately expressed frustration over Kennedy's decision to run. Notably, his cousin, Caroline, who's a U.S. ambassador to Australia. Why? Under Biden administration, while his nephew, Joe Kennedy III, is the U.S. envoy to North Ireland. We go from that to this. This comes out of the Gateway Pundit. Fire alarm goes off as RFK exposes military-industrial complex in a candidacy announcement video. As the Gateway Pundit reported earlier Wednesday, RFK Jr. officially announced his running for president in front of a packed crowd house at Plaza Hotel in Boston. Earlier in his speech, he called for Americans to come together as Americans did in the 1770s and stand up against corrupt merger of state and corporate power. Let's bring that back a little bit.
So the revolution, and of course, the Americans responded by dressing as Wampanoag Indians and boarding the British East India Company's ships.
Little history background.
Dumping the tea into the harbor. And that's when the British sent that troop over here to quell the rebellion. So that rebellion was in part against empire, but the spirit of that rebellion was a fury that the colonists had against the merger, the corrupt merger of state and corporate power.
He's a historian by nature, so there's going to be a lot of that.
I've come here today to announce my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States.
And now the heat is on. Oh, yes. Can you hear that? That was just dementia taking a dump. After announcing his candidacy, Kennedy gave a heartfelt speech about how his father, RFK, was able to unite people around the country despite being shunned by the DNC and other major Democrat powers players during the 1968 presidential campaign, which is factually true, historically fact. Later in his speech, Kennedy exposed the industrial military complex and stated his uncle, JFK, discovered that the Bay of Pigs and that a function of intelligence agencies had become to provide the military-industrial complex with a constant pipeline of war. RFK Jr. continued to say that the Bay of Pigs fiasco, President Kennedy came out and said, "I want to take the CIA and shatter it into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the wind."
And he came out during the middle of the night during the Bay of Pigs catastrophe, and he said, "I want to take the CIA." Alan Dulles had lied to him, Charles Cabell, Richard Bissell, Louis Lemitzer, Curtis LeMay had all lied to him through their teeth. And he said, "I want to take the CIA and shatter it into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the winds."
The game is afoot. You have RFK Jr., the son of the late RFK, of course, nephew of the late JFK. He's got legacy behind him. Heavyweights behind him. It's like having Ali and Tyson standing behind you as you declare. But, as I read in the article, he's on the outs with his family. He's an outlier with his family. You know, going after China, going after the military-industrial complex, going after federal government. And basically, he wants to destroy them. He wants to break them apart. And rightly so. As we've seen over the last 3 years, this government has become fascist, has become totalitarian. You got dementia caring more about pronouns than actual families. You know, Ohio, anyone? East Palestine, anyone? Nashville shooter, anyone? More worried about that. You got China, who licks their lips every time dementia opens his mouth. Putin licks its lips every time dementia opens its mouth. Right now, dementia is weak, and countries around the world laugh at them. But I guarantee you that these same countries look at RFK Jr. and go, he may be somebody that we may have to be concerned about. Now, in a one-on-one, how would he do against Trump? How would he do against DeSantis? Well, we're going to find out as the rest of this year goes into next year when we have full declaration from all parties. But it's going to be fun. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.